The club was loud, too loud. Bass thumped through the walls like a second heartbeat, lights flashing red and blue. Bodies pressed together in careless intimacy. Everything he usually owned, controlled, ruled. Tonight it felt foreign. He sat at the bar, elbows planted on the marble counter, shoulders slumped in a way no one had ever seen before. The man fared across the city, the one whose name alone could shut mouths and end conversation, looked hollow. 3 meetings skipped. One deal lost, a mistake he would never have made before. Because his head was not here, it was with her. Another, he muttered, voice hoarse. The bartender hesitated. Mingyu, seated beside him, lifted a hand. Make it his last. Hisung let out a dry laugh, dragging a hand through his already disheveled hair. You sound like her. Mingyu's jaw tightened. He had been watching his friend spiral for hours now. Drink after drink, silence growing heavier between each glass. You are burning yourself alive. Mingyu sat quietly, leaning closer to his voice wouldn't get swallowed by the music. Hisung didn't look at him. His eyes were fixed on the amber liquid in front of him. I don't care, he mumbled. I am nothing without her anyway. The words landed heavy. Mingyu swallowed. He had never heard Hisung say something like that. Not once in all the years they did know each other. Minho, standing a little behind them, scoffed softly. Then go talk to her. That finally got a reaction. Hisung laughed a bitter, broken sound that didn't belong to him. You think she will listen? He said, shaking his head slowly. She does whatever she wants. Hell, she didn't even give me a chance. His grip tightened around the glass. She thinks she is nothing. He continued, voice cracking despite himself. When she was my everything. Mingyu's chest ached. His shoulder trembled slightly. He was not even trying to hide it anymore. I can't survive without her, he whispered. She does not get that. And that was when Minho exchanged a look with Mingyu. Finish your drink, Minho said firmly. I am taking you to her. Hisung did not argue. That alone said everything. 15 minutes later, the city lights blurred past the car windows. Hisung sat in the passenger seat, hands clenched in his lap, jaw tight. His eyes were bloodshot, red-rimmed, not just from the alcohol, but from hours of holding everything back. Minho parked outside a modest apartment building. Nothing like the mansion Hisung owned, nothing like the luxury she could have had. And yet, this was where she chose to live. Minho turned to him. You sure? Hisung nodded once. Minho signed. I will wait. Hisung stepped out of the car, the cool night air hitting him like a slap. He stood there for a moment, staring at the building, the place she had disappeared into after leaving him with nothing but a text. I am sorry, I can't do this anymore. That was it. No explanation, no goodbye. He climbed the stairs slowly, every step heavier than the last. When he reached her door, he hesitated. The man who never hesitated. Then he knocked. Once, twice. The door opened. Ryan stood there, hair loose, face bare, wearing an oversized sweater that swallowed her frame. For a split second, relief flooded her eyes. Then she smelled the alcohol. He sung. He didn't let her finish. You disappeared, he said, voice trembling, with a damn text. Is that what I am to you? Her breath hitched. He stepped closer, eyes scanning her face like he was memorizing it again. The slope of her nose, her eyes, the way her eyes softened even now. You turned your back on me because of what my mother said. He continued, voice rising slightly. But what about me? A tear slipped free. She froze. She had never even seen Hisung cry. No one had. I fought everyone for you, he whispered. I fought my family, my name, my world, just to have you, just so I could say you were mine. Another tear, another crack in her chest. And you thought you were nothing? He choked out. When you were my everything. Ryan's hand shook as she opened the door wider. Come in, she whispered. Hisung hesitated just for a second before stepping inside. The living room was small, warm, familiar. Painful. This was where everything had started. He had not stepped foot in his mansion since the day she left. He slept in hostels, in his office, anywhere but there, anywhere that didn't scream her absence. His mother had demanded she give up her modeling career, had called her unsuitable, disposable. Isang had fought. But when his mother came to Ryan directly, she disappeared. Ryan turned to face him, tears streaming now. I didn't leave because I didn't love you. Then why? He demanded softly. She reached for his hands, holding them like they were fragile. Because I loved you too so much. To be the reason you lost everything. His breath hitched. I didn't want you to choose between me and your world, she whispered. So I choose for you. Silence wrapped around them. Then Heesung pulled her into his chest and broke. The apartment was quiet again. Not the awkward kind. The fragile kind. The kind where every breath mattered. Heesung sat on the edge of the couch, elbows on his knees, head bowed. Ryan was beside him, close enough that their knees touched, but neither of them moved yet. Her hands were still wrapped around his, thumbs brushing over his knuckles, like she was afraid he might disappear if she let go. His phone buzzed. Once, twice. Minho, you will leave. Heesung exhaled, a shaky breath, eyes still fixed on the floor. He pulled his phone out slowly, fingers trembling just a little, not from the alcohol anymore, but from everything he did finally let spill. Ryan glanced at the screen, then at him. It's Minho, isn't it? He nodded. She swallowed. He's waiting. In the car, Heesung sat quietly, has been. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Heesung typed. Heesung, go back. Heesung, I am staying. The reply came almost instantly. Minho, you sure? Heesung's jaw tightened. He looked at Ryan, really looked at her, the way her eyes were red from crying, the way her fingers were still holding onto him like he was something precious instead of dangerous. For the first time in days, his chest didn't feel like it was collapsing inward. Heesung, yeah. Heesung, I am where I need to be. There was a pause. Then, Minho, don't do anything stupid. Minho, call me if you need me. A faint smile tugged at Heesung's lips. Small, tired but real. Heesung, thanks. He locked the phone and set it aside, like the outside world no longer mattered. Ryan watched him carefully. He left. He will, Heesung said. I told him to. Her voice came out soft. You didn't have to stay. I know, he replied. Then he turned toward her fully, knees angling in her direction. His eyes searched her face, serious now, sober in a way that had nothing to do with alcohol. I want to. Her breath stuttered. You don't understand, he continued, voice low. I was not surviving without you. I was just existing. Ryan's grip tightened on his hand. He sung. I slept in my office, he admitted, quietly. Hostel. Anywhere but home. Because it was not home without you. Her eyes filled again. You think living protected me? He said, lifting one hand to gently brush her cheek. But losing you almost destroyed me. She leaned into his touch instinctively, like muscle memory had never left. I was scared, she whispered. Your mother looked at me like I was temporary. Like I was something she could erase. His thumb stilled. She doesn't get to decide your worth, he said firmly. Not to me, not ever. Ryan let out a broken laugh through her tears. You say that now? I said it then too, he replied. You just didn't stay long enough to hear it. That won't hurt. He lowered her forehead to his shoulders shaking. I am sorry. He wrapped his arms around her immediately, pulling her into his lap without thinking. She fit there like she always had, like she did never left. I know, he murmured into her ear. I know why you did it. She sniffed. You smell like alcohol. He huffed softly. You broke up with a mafia boss. What did you accept? You laughed weakly, and that sound alone felt like oxygen. He tilted his head slightly, lips brushing her temple. Stay, he whispered. Tonight, just tonight. She pulled back just enough to look at him. And tomorrow. His gaze softened, dangerous and gentle, all at once. Tomorrow, he said quietly. We talk, we fight, we figure it out. A pause, then softer, almost teasing. But I am not letting you disappear again. Her lips curved, despite herself. Is that a threat? He smiled faintly. Eyes still red but alive now. A promise. She rested her forehead against his, and for the first time since she left, his son didn't feel like he was dying anymore.